We have to go to Smurf in Ohio real fast. Smurf, what's up?
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, I was listening to the Bubba Bo show on XM radio late Saturday night, and they were really trashing your show.
Why?
What show?
Bubba Bo. It's on the Trucker Channel.
Bubba Bo?
Yeah, Bubba Bo.
Well, you know, if you have a name like Bubba Bo, I think you should be trashing us. That's okay.
I've never heard of Bubba Bo.
Yeah. I thought that was...
Yeah.
All right, whatever. What was he saying?
Well, they were commenting on when Dragon Wagon had called in, and, you know, how you guys were trashing Dragon Wagon. He was trashing Jim Norton and all, and how Jim was going after him. Then Bubba Bo was saying, well, you guys are a bunch of losers, that you couldn't make it on the premium, so XM Radio had to put you on the basic channel.
Oh, my God. You know,
Aren't people saying we couldn't make it on the basic, so that's why we were on premium?
Because they want us to talk about them. He's probably the guy, Dragon Wagon is probably a part of that show, or friends with somebody on that show.
Right,
There's probably a tie-in somehow with that show.
well, here's a couple things. You know, if we couldn't make it on the premium channel, they could have just fired us. XM is not firing the Opie and Anthony program anytime soon, okay?
Yeah.
So I love the people that hate the show, and they're like, well, obviously they took them off the premium channel because they weren't getting any listeners. Not true at all. We got a ton of listeners when we were on the premium channel. We're not allowed to tell you how many, unfortunately, because I can prove my point in a second. But I can tell you this much. If we were complete failures at doing this show for XM, they would just fire us. Right. Don't you get that?
Uh-huh. Well, he was trying to start a campaign with all the listeners. Everybody ought to call XM to have you guys taken off or put back on the premium because you're not appropriate to be on the basic channel.
Well, it figures that he's just, what he is a cock blocker. Nobody's listening to him. Dude, I've never heard of him. We've been here since October. I have never heard of his show.
Nope.
He's on 171. He comes on Friday nights at midnight and Saturday nights at midnight.
Exactly, dude.
Friday nights at midnight and Saturday nights at midnight. It sounds like XM has a lot of confidence in Bubba what?
Bubba Bo.
Bubba Bo.
Yeah, he's a real anchor show to this platform. 2 shows, both starting at midnight. He's a jizz bucket. Nobody knows him. He can't make it, and he's pissed off at Opie and Anthony getting all the attention. Who cares?
He's getting more exposure right now because we're talking about him than he does on his own show.
And that's why he did it.
You know, you want to talk about someone that the company doesn't have a lot of confidence in. My God, if they had confidence in Bubba Bo, he would be doing morning radio like we're doing here on 202. So,
well,
and a little wink here, but if they weren't happy with this show, they could have ended this by October if they wanted to.
Yeah.
So it's pretty obvious, and advertisers want to advertise on the entire platform if they decide to advertise not on premium. And sorry, that's the reality.
Actually, the first year of the contract ends October 1st, but. Not to get into details, but basically they have to tell us, 3 months out if they're gonna pick up the rest of our contract.
Right. Okay.
So what would that be? That would be September, August, July 1st. July 1st. So if we're still here July 1st, guess what? XM really, really likes the Opie and Anthony show.
I think you'll be there. I think you guys are doing a good job.
Dude, there's no doubt we'll be here. Bubba Bo is just looking for attention, and he just got some, so congratulations to Bubba Bo.
Yes, enjoy your midnight show and continue to languish in the spotlight at Friday at 12 o'clock and Saturday at 12 o'clock. You're obviously a success.
And he only does weekends. He does 2 shows a week.
Of course he does. No one gives a shit about it.
A lot of confidence from XM in the Bubba Bo show. Josh, what's up?
What's going on, fellas? How you doing this morning?
Pretty good.
Josh.
All right, here's a synopsis of this fucking dude. He's the fucking weekend guy on an AM midnight channel out of Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh!
It originated by Dale Summers, the Truck and Bozo show, and he's a real stand-up guy, all about information for truckers and stuff.
He's not a stand-up guy, sir. He's a douchebag.
I've heard a lot about the Truck and Bozo show.
Are you talking about the guy that trashed us?
No. That's Bubba Bo. Dale Summers, he's not actually on the channel anymore.
Okay.
He recently actually retired or was forced out of retirement. I'm not really sure about the details, but his son took over, and actually Dale Summers has a show, strictly on XM, but that's another deal. But his son took over, and then obviously on the weekends he got this Bubba Bo dude, this fucking redneckish regurgitated vaginal blood fart. It's the biggest tool I've seen. I'm not even going to go into description, but I haven't even listened to the show since the original Dale Summers left it. And I've just listened to you guys ever since. I mean, it's a hell of a lot more entertaining. I keep giggling over my hit his baby over there.
I got to tell you, I'm really, I feel sorry for all these people that are jealous of the Opie and Anthony program. I'm sorry that we're getting all the attention. What could I tell you?
Oh, please.
You know, this pops up pretty much once a month. Another show that's on the XM platform that's jealous of us. I'm sorry that we're getting all the attention. What can I tell you?
Yeah. That's probably got to bother them that they spent more money on the studio on the time you were off than he will ever make in his career. That's really got to be upsetting.
I'd bash us if I was another show.
Of course.
We're talking about it.
Yeah, right on.
We'll probably get some phone callers now next weekend. Some of our fans call up, tell them they love the show, and then say, not you. All that fun.
But it's never the type of calls that they think all think they can handle the calls, and they all think they can handle their message boards being attacked, and they just have no idea.
No.
They have no idea.
If we're failures, why is Elo coming up to New York to hang with us?
You can't even address that like it's a real, like it's a possible statement. He's just a jizzbag who wants to be spoken about. He's a fucking failure, and he's on at midnight.
Well, you know, a lot of these guys, you know, they're very jealous of the Opie and Anthony program, but they had the same opportunity as Ant and I. They could have put their balls on the line to do a real radio show, but chose to follow some stupid, you know, formula that a dumb program director handed to them and thought they were going to get big doing it that way. And that's just not how you get big in radio. You got to take chances. You got to get fired. Yep. You got to put your ass on the line on a daily basis because, quite frankly, the people that run this radio crap are a bunch of dummies. They don't know what they're doing. If they knew what they were doing, they would be doing their own radio shows. Yep. And as soon as you realize that your boss is a dummy, you're not going anywhere in this business.
Most program directors have tried doing their own show. And they fail miserably.
Right.
So then they figure they can now tell people how they should be doing their show.
Yep.
For some reason.
Program directors in radio are like gym teachers. That's all they are. Gym teachers are just a bunch of failures. You know, they're guys that try to make it in their sport, try to be a pro in, let's say, basketball, baseball, football, what have you.
Yeah.
And they either got injured or just weren't good enough to make it. So what are you going to do now?
It's the worst environment to put in with kids also. I had a gym teacher at John Glenn High School out there up on Long Island, and he was Gil Lilienthal. And this was just a big bruiser guy. And apparently he had a contract with the Bears. And right before he was supposed to start, he had a leg injury, career-ending leg injury.
Yeah.
And now here's this miserable son of a bitch teaching boys' gym class. And you know he wasn't sympathetic to anything. He's angry every day he goes in because his football career was non-existent. He was right there. His whole life was set up to that point. He gets the leg injury, and now he's got to teach these kids that don't want to be there. And he was really a prick. He used to go around like smacking people and stuff.
Yeah, he's miserable now.
Yeah.
Because he didn't make it,
That's
you know?
the gym teacher.
And then it's the same philosophy in radio. It really is. Even, I think Elo was in on Wednesday or Thursday last week. He admitted he tried to do a radio show, and he sucked at it. You know?
Morning somewhere.
And Anthony and I, we've had program directors for the last 10 years. We never took any of them seriously. You know, if we listened to the program directors we had over the years, we would just be another show, do an afternoon drive, hopefully in New York. That's about it. That's about it.
Des Moines.
You know, but we had the balls to take some chances. We had a vision, and we decided to go for it, and no one was going to get in our way.
That's right.
You know, but guys like Bubba Bo, they've been just listening to their stupid program directors forever, and look where it got them. Doing like a weekend shift on XM. Woo! Out of where? Cincinnati, Ohio or something?
Cincy.
Dude, you're not even in the big leagues. You're not even AAA. You're minor league baseball. You're not even the A leagues. You're in I was going to say the Grapefruit League, but that would be stupid.
Just another mediocre to no talent faggot who wants to piggyback and get noticed. Sorry that XM isn't paying attention to you, man. I bet it's a really funny show. He probably does a lot of good talking. He probably has the sound effect he plays a lot when he wants to say something.
And by the way, we have a lot of truckers that love this program.
It's not about we love the truckers.
We're not going to get them. We're not going to get them all. We understand that because our humor is sort of based on like a whole Northeast philosophy. But there's a bunch of truckers with open minds out there that enjoy this program as well. It doesn't matter where they're from.
Bubba Bo with you. That's right. Tune in every weekend at 3 in the morning to 3:15.
Hey, Shaky, what's up, Shaky?
Hey, I just got to say, I don't agree with hardly anything you guys said, but I love your show. You make me laugh.
Right.
And I tried telling dumb fuck redneck owe that, and they hung up on me.
Of course.
I mean, not even on the air.
Of course, because no one...
I never swore once. I was polite, just trying to tell him, hey, man, just because you don't agree with their beliefs or their views don't mean you need to fucking not listen or whatever.
You know, here's
entertainment.
Here's a couple things. You know, the one thing about this radio show that's unique, we don't really give a fuck if you agree with what we say on this program. This is a very real radio show where we just lay it on the line, and if you want to get pissed or you want to agree or if you want to just laugh or if you want to just change the channel, then so be it. Every other radio program out there has some kind of agenda, and they're praying and begging and hoping that the listeners agree with every single thing they say. Yep. That's the difference with our show. We don't care. We know there's enough people out there that are going to enjoy what we do, and that's that. Mm-hmm. No one does real radio anymore. No one!
Yeah, preach.
They're all a bunch of pussies. Howard Stern is the biggest pussy out there. We've been playing this XM satellite radio commercial that he did. He doesn't even have the balls to address this. We are just beating him up, making fun of him, stepping all over him. He has nothing to say because he can't fight this game anymore.
He had for some reason, he had plenty to say when we were off the air. When we were off the air, there was plenty to say. But the second we're back, and now we can rebut what he's saying, then he shuts up.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's the beauty of the show. We're doing real radio. You know, if a Bubba Bo is going to abuse us, we'll talk about it on our show, no problem. I don't care. And the funny thing is, guys like Bubba Bo and the rest of them, Cool Guy did it for a little while. That dude in Orlando that we made famous for a day and a half forgot his name already. The chicks from the Playboy channel forgot their names already. They're all just making us bigger by talking about us. You know, these dummies don't understand how radio works. You get a Bubba Bo talking about us, okay? That's just going to make more people that have XM check us out and become fans. And the reason? Because we have talent. Now, the other thing's going to happen. A bunch of people are going to check out Bubba Bo because we're talking about him, and they're going to realize he's a complete failure in the business.
He stinks.
Well, now I have not heard him yet.
You're right. He may be very talented.
Listen in and, you know... He might be funny.
The favorite radio host of vampires all over the country. You late-night jerk-off out of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Ugh.
All right, so where were we?
What do you do, make little Reds game jokes?
Oh, well.
How about that Marge shot?
Speaking of which, the whole Dragon Wagon call is taking on a life of its own. And the more I listen to that guy, I think he's a complete phony, by the way.
Of course he is.
I think he's a real phony that's just looking for attention.
Although I guaranteed he calls again today.
Right.
Guaranteed he calls today because he's a huge fan.
Right. Well, there's something going on there. He wants attention, and I don't know. We'll get to the bottom of that. But someone made a flash animation of Norton going after him.
Yeah.
And I think it's up on FoundYourMusic.com and OpieandAnthony.com. You got to check it out. It's very, very funny.
Very funny.
That's the beauty of the show. The new version of the show, because I guess the technology's gotten better since we got fired, the listeners are taking our bits, making flash animation, making remixes. They're just going nuts with the production for this show now.
It's gotten easier, so more people can do it, so find it all over the web now.
They're photoshopping like crazy. We talk about a subject, next thing you know, they're photoshopping our faces into situations.
Yeah.
All that's on whackbag.com. All these websites that we really love and enjoy that are fan sites are all linked on opieandanthony.com. For the new listener, you know, in your free time, you should check some of them out.
Hey, Eric, what's Bubba Bo's website? Let's give that out. We don't dump out of other show names on this show. You want to listen to the show? Go ahead. Tune it in. Bubba Bo. What was the station? If anybody knows it, say it again. Friday at midnight, Saturday at midnight. There you go. You got a plug, scumbag.
He probably doesn't even have a website.
Let me make a blanket statement for this whole program. Ooh. We fear no one. We fear no one on this program.
Snuggly blanket.
No one. All right? We know. We know we're the best at fighting this game and playing the game this way. No one will take us out. No one.
Yeah.
Especially a guy named Bubba Bo.